As a Canon DSLR shooter, I primarily have Canon glass, but recently I've been looking to get another camera like a Micro Four Thirds camera, such as a Panasonic GH4, but I'm not interested in buying all new lenses. I would like to use my Canon lenses on a Micro Four Thirds body, and they do make a lot of adapters. One of the most popular is the Metabone Speed Booster, which, although that is a great adapter, I think I found something even better, and that's the Aputure DAC lens regain. So what actually is the Aputure DAC lens regain? First, it is a adapter that lets me adapt Canon lenses to a Micro Four Thirds body. Now it also is a speed booster, such as the Metabone Speed Booster. And if you don't know, a speed booster basically opens up your aperture even more on a Micro Four Thirds body, so you get more light into the sensor, so you can do better in low light, as well as have a little bit more control over depth of field. But the benefit to the Aputure DAC lens regain is it also is a wireless follow focusing system. Now we'll come back to the wireless follow focusing feature. Diving right into the product though, taking it out of its packaging, you'll notice that it comes in a hard plastic case, which is really nice to have. So opening up the case, everything's nicely padded and laid out. There's the remote, there's the actual adapter itself, there's the receiver slash transmitter for the adapter, there's some wires so you can plug the receiver into the camera, there's also the charging cable, and then there's a mounting bracket so you can mount the remote on your rig. But looking directly at the remote, it's all made out of a really nice high quality plastic. Looking on the front, there's a rocker. This will let you adjust the focus. There's your start and stop button, a little screen so you can see the battery life on the remote as well as the aperture settings. On the top, there's the on and off button. On the back, there's a dial so I can adjust the aperture. And then on the left side, there's the iris lock button so you can set the aperture. And then there's an A and B button, which will let you set your minimum and maximum focus range. Now looking at the adapter, it's all made out of really high quality metal. One side lets you connect it to the camera, the other side lets you connect it to the lens. On the right hand side, there's the port for the receiver slash transmitter, and then a little switch that will let you unlock the lens, because when you screw on a lens, it will lock into place. And then on the bottom, there's a tripod thread, so if you want to connect the adapter to a tripod or whatever rig you have set up instead of the camera, that is an option. Then we have the receiver, and this is all made out of plastic, but it's pretty high quality. There's a little screen which will let you see the battery life and the aperture settings on it. And then on the right side, there's your on and off switch, and then just a charging port. And then you have 3 wires that come with the DAC lens regain. One is just a micro USB so you can charge the remote as well as the receiver. And then the other 2 are so you can connect the receiver to your camera so the start and stop button work on the remote. And then finally, as mentioned before, there's the mounting bracket for the remote, which will connect well to the remote, and you can really clamp it then onto whatever rig you have set up, whether that's a tripod, shoulder rig, whatever you want to do. So now that I've shown you the product, let's actually set it up. Now I'm going to be setting everything up and shooting on a Panasonic G7, and it's pretty easy to set up. All you have to do is connect the adapter to the actual camera, add the receiver to the adapter, put whatever lens you want on the adapter, and then figure out what you want to do with the remote. You can simply hold it, you can connect it to your tripod, your rig, however you want to do it. And once everything's set up, turn on the receiver, and the receiver is going to try to calibrate its settings with the lens. So make sure your lens is set to AF, not MF, because it needs to use the motors in the actual lens. It's going to set the maximum and the minimal focal points so you can easily focus with the remote. And you're also obviously going to have to turn on the remote, and once you turn it on, it's going to immediately connect to the device. I've had no issue at all with the connection. It connects immediately, and once it's connected, you can simply go back and forth with the rocker to adjust your focus, as well as change the aperture with the dial behind. And actually, I forgot to mention that if you want to use the start and stop button on this remote, you're going to have to use one of the cables that comes with the DAC lens regain to connect it to the receiver to the camera's remote port. This way you can actually utilize this button. Regardless, with that all set up, now I can connect Canon lenses to a Micro Four Thirds camera, wirelessly change focus, wirelessly change aperture. It actually is a really cool setup to have to do things wirelessly like this, especially if your camera's gonna be far away, if you're gonna be putting it on like a jib / a crane. It's great. Regardless, this is kind of hard for me to show because I don't really have a full video shoot that I can dedicate to just trying out this Aputure DAC lens regain. So I did take it out just to shoot my own little video, and here's what I came up with. This is all with the Panasonic G7 with this adapter. Everything I did was with this focusing system. So there was my brief test with this device. Now, it's kind of hard for me to actually show and demo. I have used this on shoots with clients, but unfortunately I can't actually show that footage online. But really, just using this product has changed the game up for me entirely with how I can shoot videos. You know, it gives me more freedom, so I don't have to always be touching the camera and whatnot. And it also has allowed me to use a Micro Four Thirds camera. I only rented the Panasonic G7, but now I'm going to probably be getting like a GH4 in the future. Of course, we'll see, but this product has changed a lot for me. Now, like any review, I have to cover the negative aspects about this product, and the first thing, it has to do with the lenses. You can't use any lens on the Aputure DAC lens regain. If you go on Aputure's website, it does have a specific list of lenses that are guaranteed to work with the product. I don't think I have actually any of those lenses. I used a 18-55mm kit lens. That worked alright, but it was a little slow and loud, but worked fine, so whatever. I used a 50mm prime lens, the older one that's not STM, and the motor in the 55mm prime lens is really fast actually, but it's sometimes too fast that if I went too fast with the focus rocker, then the gears would almost skip, and then the device will lose the actual focus, so it can't focus properly. And then a 24mm prime lens that I have didn't actually fit perfectly on the DAC lens regain, so I had some focusing issues with that. So at this point, you might be freaking out thinking that no lenses work with the lens regain. That's not true. You just have to pay attention to what lenses you have. Like, I'm gonna be upgrading to the newer 50mm lens, the like 2nd generation or whatever, and I've used that before. It's just not mine, but it did work on the lens regain, just the older one didn't. So again, you just have to pay attention to what lenses work. Continuing on though to other issues with the lens regain, people have complained that when you connect the adapter to the camera, the adapter does not talk to the camera at all. Which means if you want to adjust the aperture, if you want to adjust the focus, you cannot do it unless you use the remote. Which I don't mind. I mean, that's kind of the point with the Aputure DAC lens regain. You're supposed to use the remote and all, so I don't really mind. But I guess if they can make the adapter talk to the camera, that'll be cool. I know some people said, oh, maybe Aputure come out with a firmware upgrade. There actually is no connecting points on the adapter, so there's no chance that a software update would fix that. They'd have to make a completely new product, which maybe they'll do at some point, but it's really not that big of an issue. So overall, the Aputure DAC Lens Regain is a fabulous product, and I completely recommend it. I've been using it, and I'm going to be getting a Micro Four Thirds camera so I can continue using it. It's just been great. This is a $600 product, which is a decent amount of money, but look at the Metabone Speed Booster, which is so popular. That goes for $600, $650, and it doesn't have like a wireless follow focusing system in it. So you get even more with this device, which I think is great, and I recommend it. If you want to buy it, the link is down in the description, as well as Aputure's website, so you can check out what lenses work with the product. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the Aputure DAC Lens Regain, let me know in the comment section below. I'm Eric. I'll catch you in the next video.